Welcome to Vacancy and Referral Training. My name is Sandy Harris, and I will be your presenter today. I'm the Supervisor for Rental Subsidy Administration and Activities. In order to have access to Vacancy and Referral and to report vacancies, your management company will need to provide you access. Your management company provides you access to RCRS. They will also need to provide you access to Vacancy and Referral. You access Vacancy and Referral using the same link that you would to get into Vacancy and Referral. You do not have to have access to RCRS in order to have access to Vacancy and Referral. It is very important that management understand that when they set you up to give you access, they need to make sure that they check the Report Vacancies box. We have it highlighted here in yellow. Keep in mind that if they do not check this box, you will not be able to report vacancies. Now that you have access, people often say, well, what do I do now? Once you have a vacancy, you need to enter the information into Vacancy and Referral. That's what starts the process. You also have to report all of your vacant units, even if they're a market unit. And even if you've met your targeting requirement, again, you have to report all of your vacancies. And you should report your vacancy as soon as you're notified. This will help get the referral process started early and reduce any vacancy loss. For new properties, you should reach out to DHHS to determine the number of units that you should enter, as well as which units to enter. If you have 85 units at your property, DHHS has a 10% allotment. So their only obligation to the property is for 9 units. So you should not enter all 85 units. DHHS typically only needs 1 bedrooms versus 3 bedrooms. So reach out to them and they'll determine which units they feel like would best fit the needs of their referrals and let you know which assortment they would like for you to enter based on your bedroom size. If someone moves out of your property after the initial lease up, again, you still have to enter that vacancy at turnover, regardless of whether you've met your targeting requirement. If your property has ISHP funds, you will be communicating with Kay Johnson at DHHS and the LME and MCO to determine which vacancies to enter at your property. If your property is undergoing a rehab, we do not expect you to report any vacancies until all of your in-house residents are rehoused in a rehab unit. Do not report vacancies to DHHS if all of your units have not been rehabbed and all of your in-place residents have not been rehoused. As part of the referral process and the vacancy process, you need to make sure that you're knowledgeable about your unit. Does your unit have a roll-in shower? Does it have wider doors and grab bars? What about assistive technology, or is it more than 1 floor? Meaning, are the bedrooms upstairs? Exterior stairs. Are there stairs outside of the unit to get to the inside of the unit? Does the property have an elevator, and if so, what floor is the unit on? You need to make sure that you understand what makes the unit accessible. If a unit has a roll-in shower, that makes it a fully accessible unit. If it has wider doors and grab bars, it's a handicap unit. If there is assistive technology in the unit, then that would be a visual and audio accessible unit. And if the unit has more than 1 floor, that means there's interior stairs. When we ask about exterior stairs, we're asking about how many stairs does the applicant or the resident have to navigate in order to get inside the unit. That can be 1 step to step up to a landing to get into the unit, or it could be 2 or 3 steps. Again, it's very important that you know your units, so when you enter the information into Vacancy and Referral, you're giving accurate information to DHHS so they are sending the appropriate referral. If you indicate that your unit has a roll-in shower and they have an applicant that needs those features, they will send that referral to you. Imagine what would happen if they send a referral to you that needs a fully accessible unit and you've entered the wrong information in the system. So it's very important that you know your units and their accessibility features. Again, we like to stress the importance of the exterior stairs. If you will hover over any of the red asterisks in vacancy and referral, it will give you a description and more information about the question. Under exterior stairs, we're wanting to know, will the tenant need to navigate stairs in order to access the unit? And when we say access the unit, we mean to get inside. How many steps will the resident have to navigate in order to get inside the unit? Again, that can be one or more steps. Once you've entered the vacancy, the housing assessor will acknowledge that they have received the vacancy within 5 business days. They will also provide the property with a referral and upload any applicable waiver letter into the system, as well as the letter of referral. And DHHS has the unit for 30 days unless they release it. Hopefully, they will have a referral for you at the time that you provide them a vacancy notification. But again, regardless of whether or not they provide you a referral, they have access to the unit for 30 days. This is what the screen looks like when DHHS goes to add a referral based on the vacancy that you have given them. You'll notice on the right-hand side, they put in the household size and the unit size eligibility. If DHHS indicates that there are 2 people in a household, and when the applicant shows up, they have 5 on the application, you should reach out to DHHS to let them know. Again, even if the property has met their targeting requirement, you still have to report the vacancy in vacancy and referral. As soon as you report that vacancy, you will immediately ask for the unit to be released because you have met your requirement, and DHHS will release within 5 days. The Action tab in Vacancy and Referral is where you do all of your data entry. You'll notice on the screen here, the Actions tab, you've entered a vacancy, and your only option at this point is to request the release. And this is where you would request the release for maybe you entered it in error or you've met your targeting requirement. And you see here on the screen where you can release the vacancy on DHHS's side, or they can deny releasing the unit. Once DHHS provides the referral is expected to contact the property within 5 days, either to schedule an appointment, to show up, to look at the unit and make an application. Within 5 days, they should reach out to the property. Again, just because the referral does not contact the property within 5 days, DHHS still has access to the unit. Should the referred household not show up, you'll need to notify DHHS so they will know that they didn't show up. And you're going to update vacancy and referral asking for a contact status after the 5 days. If the Actions tab is on your side in vacancy and referral, that means the system is waiting for you to do something. In this case, the applicant has not shown up, so you're going to request a contact status follow-up. This lets DHHS know that the person that they referred to your property did not show up. DHHS will reach out to the referral agency to determine if the referral is still interested. If so, they'll revive the referral, and that essentially lets you know that the household is still planning to come and apply. If not, they'll close the referral. This lets you know that that particular referral is no longer interested in the property. Now, that does not release the unit. Again, DHHS still has 30 days. The referral has showed up at your property, and now they're ready to apply. So you're going to notify DHHS in vacancy and referral that you've received an application. You're going to also have the option to add comments in vacancy and referral if you're missing information, such as you're waiting on the Social Security award letter or you're waiting on a bank verification. This lets DHHS know where you're at in the process and how they can expect the application to move forward. Remember, you're not charging application fees to targeted households, and you're also making sure that you're following the approved tenant selection policy. Again, if you're missing something, make sure you add those comments in Vacancy and Referral because DHHS receives notification of those comments, and they'll review and follow up as needed to assist you. Here's an example of the comments where someone has added that they're missing an income verification. And this is an example of what DHHS will see when they sign in on their side. They have a list of properties and the referral person's name and it's the status of that referral. If they're waiting for an application to be reviewed, waiting for a denial to be reviewed, waiting for the applicant to show up, all of that information is shown in the system to them. You have received an application and you're ready to approve it because you've got all the information and they meet your tenant selection criteria. So you're going to update Vacancy and Referral with the approval status and you're going to arrange a move-in date. Under the Actions tab, you will select Approve Application, and you're also going to have to reserve a vacancy. That is essentially putting in the system what unit you anticipate that household to move into, and also letting the system know exactly when you're expecting them to move in. Under this process, you will reserve the vacancy, and when you reserve the vacancy, you will need to choose the vacant unit that the household is moving into. Now, if the household is not moving in to unit 129 that is noted here, but instead they're moving into unit 139, this would indicate you have not reported unit 139 as vacant. Again, you have to reserve the vacancy for the correct unit that they will be moving into. Should the vacancy not be noted here, reach out to DHHS and how to move forward and report the correct vacant unit. And again, enter the expected move-in date. Once you've entered this information, should the applicant change their mind, you do need to update the system. You have the option to undo the reservation and maybe choose another unit because they decided they wanted to move to another unit, or you will withdraw the application because they've changed their mind and will not be moving to your property. Again, you're doing this under the Actions tab in Vacancy and Referral, where you undo the vacancy reservation or withdraw the application. They decided they're moving to your property, they're excited, they come to your property on move-in day, and you've got lots of documents for them to sign. Make sure that they sign all the correct paperwork and any documents that they sign, make sure that they understand and are fully aware of the expectations. And then you're going to confirm the move-in date in Vacancy and Referral. This lets DHHS know that the household actually moved in. So when you confirm the move-in date, you will put the move-in date that they're actually moving in, and then choose the unit that they're actually moving to. Again, the move-in unit should match the vacancy that you have reserved for them in the system. If something needs to be changed, it needs to happen before you confirm the move-in. Some things to remember: that the referral letter shows the bedroom size of the household is eligible to lease. If the referral letter says the household is eligible for a 1-bedroom, but you try to reserve a 2-bedroom, you will receive an error message. Should there be a change and DHHS has now authorized a 2-bedroom, it will be up to DHHS to modify the referral so you can move forward. You should be updating Vacancy and Referral along the way as various activities happen, and you will not be waiting until the end to do everything. Should there be questions about an applicant or some documentation that you may or may not need, you should reach out to the housing assessor or to the housing finance agency before they sign the lease. Should you deny an application, you need to make sure that you're updating the denial status in Vacancy and Referral, as well as uploading the denial letter in Vacancy and Referral. And you're continuing to hold the unit. Under the Actions tab in Vacancy and Referral, you will deny the application, and you will note the reasons it was denied. Was it denied for credit, for criminal, for a landlord reference, and the date it was denied? You are also required to upload the denial letter that you have provided the applicant. Again, you must upload the denial letter in Vacancy and Referral. And keep in mind that Vacancy and Referral records the date the denial letter is uploaded. So that's when the clock starts ticking, regardless of the date you complete the denial letter. So it's very important that you upload the denial letter the same day that you deny the household. When you deny the application, the housing assessor will contact the referral agency to determine if an appeal will be made. The housing assessor will update vacancy and referral to let you know if you should expect an appeal. The applicant must still make the reasonable accommodation request directly to management. The housing assessor is simply letting the property know what to expect. If the applicant chooses not to appeal, the housing assessor will close the referral. Keep in mind, they still have access to the unit for the full 30 days. If an applicant chooses to appeal, they have no less than 8 business days to appeal. If they appeal, management will revive the application and vacancy and referral, and they'll follow their process outlined in the tenant selection policy to process the appeal. And again, management is required to hold the unit until the appeal is reviewed. If you deny someone for credit because they're part of a program that the owner or management company has access to risk mitigation funds, you cannot deny them for economic reasons. For example, if you get a landlord reference that says the household owed money, that is considered economic, so you would not be able to deny them for that reason. However, if you get a reference from a landlord that indicates they had multiple lease violations, that is not considered an economic reason, and you could deny them based on that reason. If an applicant has a criminal history that involves a pending charge, you should consider this as part of the individualized assessment. If you're not able to determine the specifics, the housing provider may deny admission until the charges are resolved. But if you can identify the specifics of the pending charge, you should house the person if the resulting conviction would not change the decision to house. Pending charge for misdemeanor larceny within the last 5 years with no other charges or convictions should result in an individualized assessment. If the applicant has a disability and requests a reasonable accommodation, the provider should determine whether the request is appropriate while criminal charges are pending. If the applicant requests a reasonable accommodation, the unit must be held until a decision is rendered. And when we talk about individualized assessment, here are some things that you should consider: the seriousness of the criminal offense, and the relationship between the offense and how it will impact the security of your residents, staff, or property, and the length of time since the offense, and particular weight being given to the significant periods of good behavior. If the household hasn't had any criminal history in the last 15 years, that should be a positive on their behalf. And you also should look at the age of the household member at the time of the offense. If the household member made an irresponsible choice or decision when they were 21, but now they're 35 years old, and they've had no other issues since then, that would be something that would be considered as part of the individualized assessment. You also need to look at the number and nature of any other criminal convictions and any evidence of rehabilitation or job education or job training, or any recommendations from a probation officer, an employer, or community leader should be taken into consideration. You should also consider any tenant supports or other risk mitigation services where the applicant will be receiving while they're a tenant at your property. And again, be sure to document your individualized assessment. You must update vacancy and referral to show the status of the application being denied. Reasons for denial include landlord reference, credit, or criminal. Keep in mind that our agency does track all denials noted in vacancy and referral, and that our agency must review all reasonable accommodation denials and report those to the Department of Justice. Once someone has moved in the property, management must update RCRS within 30 days of the move-in to avoid noncompliance. Updating move-in information for vacancy and referral does not update RCRS. The two systems do not talk to each other, so you will be required to enter in both places. Once entered in Vacancy and Referral, management has a waiting RCRS move-in verification work list. This work list confirms that the referred household moved into the unit noted in Vacancy and Referral. And on the screen, you'll see an example of where you would see the work list and what's waiting to be confirmed. Under the Actions tab in Vacancy and Referral, you will confirm the move-in, and then you will enter the move-in date and select the unit that the household moved into. Again, the unit they move into should be the same unit that's been reserved for them in Vacancy and Referral. If not, you should update Vacancy and Referral prior to confirming the move-in. Things to consider: if the tenant name and referral name do not match, reach out to DHHS to resolve the discrepancy. If the wrong unit has been confirmed as the move-in unit, or the vacancy reserve was not changed in Vacancy and Referral, reach out to DHHS to see how to resolve that, because our agency will return if it's not correct when it's submitted. We have a variety of resources available on our website. If you will go to our website and click on Rental Housing Partners and then Rental Owners and Managers, under the Forms and Resources tab, we have a variety of topics that are available to you. And for Vacancy and Referral, we offer step-by-step instructions. So again, step-by-step instructions can be found on our website, and we do encourage you to print those out to use those to guide you as you navigate Vacancy and Referral. If you have questions regarding payments or file issues, you should reach out to Louise Gardner, and we've provided her email address. If you have questions on how to use Vacancy and Referral, maybe you don't understand the directions, you should reach out to Wanda Teal at DHHS. If you're having a technical issue in Vacancy and Referral because it's not operating as it's intended and it's not a user error, if you'll reach out to myself, I'll be more than happy to navigate the issue and work with our IT team to get it resolved. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to the appropriate contact as you navigate Vacancy and Referral.